Hello, everybody. I'm Nina Soden, urban fantasy author of the Blood Angel series, the Sector C series, and the just released The Beast Within, an interactive novel. And today I am really excited because I have Celaine Charles here with me. Celaine lives in the Pacific Northwest, where she teaches elementary school, yes, those little ones, writes fiction and poetry, and blogs about her writing journey on the steps in between. Her YA fantasy, Seam Keepers, debuted May 12th of this year with the Wild Rose Press. She's always busy and is currently drafting the sequel, Dream Keepers, along with a brand new YA contemporary fantasy life song. She writes poetry inspired by nature. Okay, let's talk. So you are a poet, you are a novelist, you are a teacher. How do you find time to do it all?
I get asked that a lot. So I guess I compartmentalize my life, and that's what works best for me. So when I'm in teacher mode, then during those hours of the day, I am just teaching, and I just 100% focus. I have that hat on, and then at the end of the day of teaching, I might, depending on what's happening, then I have to put on the mom or the wife or the friend hat, depending on what I'm doing. And I'll, dinner, laundry, life, right? Appointments, grocery store. And then usually for a couple hours not every evening, but I would say 3 to 4 times a week, I write. And that's when I go up to my writing office. That's this space right here. And I write, and that's my writing time. I don't do anything else at this desk except write. And I think that's helped me to compartmentalize. So when I'm teaching, I don't grade papers here. I don't plan here. I'm teaching remotely right now because of, COVID. And so I don't do that in this space at all. I do that downstairs at my dining room table. And that's all done somewhere else. And so I think that helps too, because when I'm in a different space, I'm in a different headspace, I'm in a different physical space. And then that helps me to focus on what I need to get done.
That makes a lot of sense, and I could probably learn from that. I do everything in this space.
Right. It really helps. And before I had my office, I had just a laptop and my bed, right? I mean, it went from my laptop in my bed to a little desk in the corner until my daughter moved out after college and got her, adult job. Then I moved into her room and made it into an office. So it just... it's grown since then, but I learned that at a writing conference early on. And it was the best advice that I was given, is to put your body in a space to do the work that you want to do. And then even when you don't feel like it, or you're tired, or you don't think you have any motivation, when you sit down in that space, it's almost like muscle memory. I will literally put my fingers on the keyboard sometimes, not having an ounce of an idea of what I'm going to do, and stuff will come out. And sometimes it's really short. It might just be a paragraph. Sometimes will review something I wrote maybe before. And then other times I'll just be inspired, and I'm surprised where it goes. So, yeah.
So you do other author things in that space though too, right? Like your marketing and all of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, everything about writing is in this space. Everything Celaine Charles is here. That's my author name. And then everything my, real life is out of this room. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So tell me about your writing process. What does that look like for you? Are you a pantser? Are you a plotter? Do you outline, or do you just kind of go with the flow?
So I've learned a lot with this book. I mean, this has been 7 years and 14 days.
Okay.
From the time that it started until the time it came out, which I think the reason it took so long is because I was brand new and did not know what I was doing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's because of that. So, and I was a pantser. This was written I was from the seam of my pants. I was just going for it. The seat of my pants. I said seam because my book is Seam Keepers. Anyway, I was writing by the seat of my pants. I know, isn't that funny? And I just didn't know how to do it any other way. And but what I learned from that process is that I did 3 complete rewrites of this story. Yeah. And I don't think that I would have necessarily had to have done that had I done a little plotting perhaps. So yeah. I call myself a recovering pantser. I still have one foot, in the pantsing area. And I try to plot. I'm not an outliner. I'll sit down to try to outline, and I feel like it's just so much time and I can't figure things out necessarily. And then my motivation to write goes away. So for me, I've decided that my compromise is I like to plot kind of the big ideas, those big obligatory scenes that my story needs. And then I start writing. So then I'll jive in, I'll start writing scenes by the seat of my pants, and I see where things go. But in the back of my mind, I've got those big scenes semi-worked out. Yeah. I kind of go by, I've been reading this.
Save the Cat
writes a novel. Yeah, this has been helpful. So I sort of keep just those, those story ideas, those certain benchmarks. Yes. Yeah. I keep those in mind, and then I pants the rest.
Okay, great. So tell me a little bit about your current novel. So this one, 7.5 years. So long. I mean, you are close to these characters at this point. How does it feel to have it out there in the world and published now?
It feels amazing. It's it's a vulnerable place to be. I'm not going to lie. It's nerve-wracking. It's like my children. They're like my children. And when you set your children out on the path, when they first go to school or they go out of your home where you've got full control and you've got other people, they're interacting with other life issues and events and things happening in the world. I have those similar feelings. It's been exciting and good and positive because I feel like they're finally breathing life. And it's been my whole goal to let them breathe life. And I mean, I feel like I know them. I feel like they drive around in the car with me. We have wine together. We go out for coffee. We take walks. I take walks to process. That's another part of my writing process is walking. But now they're out there in the world. And I was so excited to get them out there in the world. And then all of a sudden I felt sick. Please let them be okay. I don't want anyone to hurt them or hurt their feelings or not understand them or, it's kind of like a real person.
It is. Absolutely. Absolutely. You get so close to them in that writing process that you have to know every aspect of them in order to make them livable and breathable and relatable on the paper.
Yeah. So exactly.
You are currently working on the next book in this series. Mm-hmm. So what is the plan? 7.5 years, or are we shrinking that down?
We are shrinking that way down. So my goal is to get the next book written, just drafted, the ugly first draft. I want that out by the end of summer. I know those are high hopes. They might, because I actually thought I could start writing as soon as I published this, I could just jump right on. But marketing is a field I don't like. I'm not good at it. It's, I don't like selling myself. It's really an uncomfortable place to be. And and, even though I'm with a press, it doesn't matter. I mean, you have to self-market, you have to self-market. So it's really, that part's difficult. So I guess my plan, I would like to finish this summer with just the raw, ugly first draft, and then go back through it in the fall. I'm giving myself until after the holidays to polish it, fine tune it before I send it to my first stage editor to, work out all the kinks. And then I can hopefully get it to my publisher after I make all those fixes. And then in between all that, I've got beta readers and that whole process, and that can take time. So I'm kind of thinking logistically, it might be next spring before I get it to the publisher. And then if it gets accepted, or not, I have to go through all that. So it'll be, when you're with a press, it takes a little bit longer. So just to even get it, from the time we were going to publish it, that was a year. So, and the big presses are 2 years, but this is like a smaller press, so it's a year. But hopefully I'll have it out by then. And that's a lot, but to me, that's a lot less time than 7 years.
7.5. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. How does it feel to know that you're trying to condense your process down from 7.5 years to a year? Is it overwhelming, or does it feel better because you've done it before?
It feels better. I feel more efficient. I've learned a lot. When I was writing this first book, I mean, I literally was reading a lot, and I followed that quote. You've probably heard it. I was looking for a book to read after I'd finished reading a series, and I didn't know what to read. And I read this quote that said, you should just write the next book you want to read. And I'm like, oh, I could do that. I want to write the next book that I want to write the book that I want to read. And that's exactly what I did. But I'm hoping what happened then was I didn't know what I was doing. I never thought I would be a writer or an author. I was just a reader who got excited. I've always written. I mean, I've written my whole life since high school, but I never told anyone, and I never showed anyone. I was really private about it because I didn't see myself that way. And so when I started writing this, I thought my first draft was just beautiful. I mean, it was so long. It was like 455 pages of what I thought was pure bliss. And when I sent it to my first editor to get I hired an editor through the Northwest Editors Guild because I didn't know where to go. And I thought she was going to for sure say, oh my gosh, we've got to get to the publisher right away. It is so beautiful. Yeah. And that was not what she said, but she did say that it was worth writing. No, she did not. I know, I was really shocked too.
Yeah.
She did say that it was worth continuing. It was worth working through the muck. It was worth she really saw the story in the bones. But I was storytelling and I wasn't story showing, which is a big thing for authors. That word filters was really big. Filters and just, all those steps between the reader and the character. So I had to learn to tighten and button that up. Just things like that. So, and just the idea of the story form, I wasn't doing the obligatory scenes. I was just writing this big story that went from here to there to here to there. And eventually we got to the end. Yeah. But it was messy and the reader can't, the pacing was off. So she suggested take writing classes, go to conferences, immerse yourself in the world of writing. And that, I live in Seattle, so I signed up for the Pacific Northwest Writers Association writing conference. Yep. I actually submitted the first 27 pages for a literary contest, not expecting to win the contest, which I didn't. I did in poetry though. I didn't win, but I was a finalist for poetry.
That's great.
That was fun. But for my fiction story, you got 2 professional critiques out of it. So I wanted those critiques is what I wanted. And then that fueled my motivation as well, because my critiques I got back were really positive. I mean, I wasn't a finalist and I didn't win, obviously, but the critiques were like, this is good, this is solid, your characters, it's all good, you need to tell this story. I just did more work. So then I took classes and then all these things. So it's taken time to do that. And then after every class or workshop, book I would read, I would then do a rewrite. And then probably the best class was the PNWA actually taught a year-long class. And so it was for a full year. It was 3 sections with little vacations in between. And every Tuesday night, I wrote, I think I have 3 journals notes I took at that class. Pam Binder, the president of the association, taught the class, and I learned so much from her.
That's awesome.
That's what got this finished, I think. So
it
was a long process.
So let's hear what Seam Keepers is about. Show us the cover so that all of the viewers can absolutely fall in love with this. It's a beautiful cover.
Very
nice. Now, who did it?
Christian. Oh my gosh, I just lost the name. Norris. I've been writing her name a gazillion times. Yeah, Christian Norris. I thought I was wrong, and I'm like, no, that's right. Christian Norris did the cover, and I just love it.
Yeah, she did a fantastic job. Okay, so go ahead and read us the back blurb so we can get a feel for what this book is.
Okay. Ashton Nichols dreads the changes graduation will bring, most of all losing her impulsive best friend, Mason. Her world turns upside down when she follows him into the woods and encounters a demon and a destiny beyond what she ever imagined. Mason indeed seeks freedom from his grief-stricken father, but after his encounter in the woods, he must think about Ashton's safety. Hiding the truth from her about her identity leaves them both vulnerable and caught between good and evil. Together, they uncover the unimaginable. Will they find enough courage and strength to claim their own free will, save their families, and protect human souls?
Okay, it draws you in. And it begs the question, why is he hiding her identity from her? Is she the demon? No. So now I need to read it and know.
Yeah.
So that's
I love that
fantastic.
part. Yeah.
Because it makes you question, who's the demon? So, all right. I cannot wait. I'm going to have to read this one. Very excited. So for anybody out there that is watching this, that is as intrigued as I am, we will be doing a drawing, a giveaway, so you can get a signed autographed copy of Seam Keepers. All right, what you have to do, like this video, comment below that, hey, I want to be in the drawing, and subscribe to my channel. That's it, 3 easy steps. You can do them in 2 seconds. Subscribe, like, and comment, and you will be entered into the drawing. All right, very excited. I love the story plot. I love the ambiguity and the kind of questioning that it leads you in just reading a 2-3 paragraph blurb. It brings out so much, which is fantastic. So I want to know about Ashton and Mason. Tell me why our audience, your readers, are either going to love or hate these characters. What is going to draw them in?
So I'm hoping that they'll love them because I love them so much. So Ashton and Mason have grown up as next door neighbors. And so they're like best friends. They're just best friends and they've grown up together. Ashton is like a homebody. She just wants to stay at home. She wants to watch movies, eat Sour Patch candy. She doesn't want to go out, she's a homebody. But Mason's like the polar opposite, and he is like adventurous. He likes to go hiking and he plays sports. He does karate. He drags her to school parties, things like that. They're both, so Mason's 18 and Ashton turns 18 in 5 days, which is important in the book because that plays a role in all these things happening. And so what's kind of cool about it is that Mason's that ADD, like me, that was for me. That ADD kind of character, right? Who's like out there, he's confident, he's cocky, he's out, well, I'm not that, but I mean, I'm the ADD part, but he's really confident. Ashton is more, she's got a lot of anxieties. She just prefers to kind of keep things, she's an artist, so she just prefers to draw, her mom's an artist, she's an artist, she prefers to draw. She's going to go to art school in Seattle. They're just about to graduate. She's going to go to art school in Seattle. She doesn't want to go anywhere far away. And Mason's trying to talk her into just living on campus for a year because at least give it a try, because she would rather just live at home. He wants the heck out of Dodge. He's, because his mom, it died when he was 5. And so that's another reason they're really close together. And so he's only had his dad, who's basically a workaholic and has buried himself because of his grief into his work. And so Mason's pretty much
alone.
Sick of being alone, in this home where he's kind of feels like he wants us to get out. So anyway, I just got to know that my internet was not good. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, you faded out there for a second, but we got the gist of what you said.
Okay. Yeah, good. So it's what I think is exciting that I hope that readers can find is that, and it's what drew me into my press. I met the Wild Rose Press at a writing conference, and this is what made them lean in and draw. They were excited about it, is that my character arcs, both of my Ashton and Mason character arcs, arcs kind of cross over. And it doesn't necessarily mean that they become each other, but when you read it, I don't want to give it away, but when you read it, their character arcs really do kind of switch.
They switch. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, well, just one more thing to be intrigued by. Mm-hmm. All right, is there anything about this story or your process that we haven't yet talked about that you want my viewers to know?
Oh my goodness. I guess my biggest message is to just keep writing, to do the work, just do the work. One of the things that my writing teacher used to say through the PNWA, she would always say, and I don't think it was hers, I think it's out there as a quote, I don't know who originally said it, but she would always say the only difference between a published author and an unpublished author is perseverance. And so that's what I live by. I would put stickies everywhere that say, just do the work. Just sit down and do the work. Do the work when you don't feel like it. Just do the work and just keep trudging forward. And so that's helped me the most. So I wish that would be my wish for other writers to know, whether you want to traditionally publish or self-publish or however you want to do it, to just do the work and keep going. And that's my hope for them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I cannot agree with you more, because sometimes there are days when you're writing and ideas just don't come, and you do back off and say, well, why am I doing this? Mm-hmm. So absolutely right. Keep writing, keep going, keep trudging through, because the more bad days you go through, the better it gets and the easier it gets.
Right.
Okay. So I like
and there's always surprises. Sometimes I sit down.
Yes, absolutely. I love it when the characters take you in a direction that you really did not see coming, and you're like, and you can be a little resistant to that, but if you just give into it, it's always a better story.
Yes. I let them lead a lot.
Yes, me too. They talk to me too much sometimes. Okay. So I like to end all of my interviews with the James Lipton Inside the Actors Studio 10-question questionnaire. So this is a hot seat moment. It's 10 questions. It's not a lot. Don't think about the answers. Just say what comes to mind, and you don't have to explain them. So here we go. Question number 1, what is your favorite word?
Oh, hullabaloo.
Say it again.
Hullabaloo.
Okay.
Hullabaloo. I try to use that in all my stories too, and it's in this one.
No way. Okay, that's awesome, because now I'm going to look for it, and that'll be what I highlight. I highlight in all books. All right.
Yeah, me too.
I'm like, favorite quotes.
I write. Yep.
Yeah, I love that. All right, what is your least favorite word?
I don't know. Hate. I don't know.
Okay. What turns you on?
Nature. I have a weird thing with nature.
I'm not surprised, since you do your poetry based on nature. What turns you off?
Politics.
Yeah. What sound or noise do you love?
Oh, wind chimes. I love wind chimes.
Yes. What sound or noise do you hate?
Honking. Car honking.
Okay.
I hate that.
Okay. And yes, you can answer this one. What is your favorite curse word?
The good old F word.
Okay. What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
Okay, so I would love 2 things. So I would love to run a successful winery.
Ooh.
I just think that would be to be on the land. I'm romanticizing, because I actually have talked to people who work on wine. It's not
romantic
it's a hard job, but I would love it. The glamour part, I love it. And then maybe even the part, I could do that too. Or I've always thought it'd be fun to do a little coffee shop with a little, art on the wall and poetry readings happening, and books to borrow and.
That would be fun. I could totally see myself doing that too. Yeah. Okay, so opposite end, what profession other than your own would you not want to attempt?
Oh, anything admin. I don't want to be anyone's boss.
Okay. Okay. Last question. See, this wasn't very hard. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gate?
Oh, I would want him to say, I know you.
Okay. In a good way, I hope.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for doing this interview with me and for sharing.
Thank you for having me.
Sharing your process and sharing your book with my viewers. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate being on, and I'm excited about your books. I actually already ordered some.
Oh, yay. Awesome. All right, everybody who's watching, if you want to get a copy of her book, make sure that you go down to the description below. I'm going to have all the links, all the important links. Go right now, order it. It's very exciting. If you want a chance to win a copy of her book, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment below. But that shouldn't stop you from ordering a copy too, because books make great gifts. All right, everybody, have a great day.